Okay, he said, Joe. This is from Donald Trump. He said, "You got a laptop from hell. You are the Ukraine deal is you're going to take away our jobs. You're going to take away our oil. You're going to take away our factories. You're going to take away the small business owner, the small workers, also the small independent farmers. You're going to take all that away. Plus, now you also want to have solar power energies where the windmills, where you actually will have these windmills, and they actually when the blades hit the ducks or hit birds, that hurts the wildlife. So that doesn't help at all. That's good points that he made. And when Joe Biden did lie several times, 10 times he lied last night. Did you see that? He lied 10 times. One about the Ukraine deal, one about the laptop, one about the Fast and Furious deal. Remember that? Remember that he said that there was no cages that they made in 2014. Well, we showed that video of that, Sean Hannity, and then we actually there's more evidence against the Fast and Furious, the debt ceiling. Then you got sequester. You have also the Ukraine deal, the Chinese deal. You got Iranian deal. You got the Iran deal. You got Syria. You know, I mean, the list is phenomenal. It's just huge. He's 40 years in Congress, and what has he done? What did one thing that Joe Biden accomplished? What did he accomplish? Well, he accomplished Obamacare, and guess what? The economy collapsed. We had the worst economy recovery in history. We didn't recover from that. We had a depression. What recovered from that was the Trump tax cuts that we got, and your $2,000 checks that you got in the mail. Yeah, now we want another stimulus. He's going to do that. I mean, what more do you want from the president? I mean, this guy's doing a lot for us. He's doing a lot already. We crush. I mean, we have right now Israel now has Jerusalem as the capital of Israel under President Trump. It took him 30 years to do that. Why didn't President Trump why didn't Joe Biden do this 30 years ago with the bomb regime? And they couldn't even get a wall built. Under President Trump, we got 10 miles of wall going each day right now at that wall. It's a 200-foot wall.
Well, the thing is that I just want to interrupt here because, number one, we have to remember President Trump asked Biden to address the American people when he would look in the camera, but he never addressed these issues about China, the Ukraine, and Russia, and and his son Hunter's involvement, along with his involvement, and his son traveling on Air Force Two with Biden to China to meet with the execs of the Bank of China and the executives who were
Ukraine too,
to buy out a U.S. corporation who makes military parts and intertwine it with Hunter Biden's company. And number two, which most people don't know, but I know because I was in contact with the lawyers in South Carolina, that there were 10,000 children from foreign nations who went missing under Obama's watch that were being trafficked into the USA across the borders. Nobody knows what happened to those children, and to this day. And then
how many children were there?
The cages in 2014.
I talked about
and
that.
Yet those 10,000 children gone missing.
Yeah.
And I want to say the Democrats pushed for the open borders.
Yep.
They pushed for the caravans, with George Soros funding the caravans, coming into the USA.
And Black Lives Matter.
Vetted people that included criminals, rapists, pedophiles, murderers, repeat offenders. And they tied the hands, Obama tied the hands of the Border Patrol, ICE, sheriffs, and they could not question these people. They let them in. And do you think there's 11 million illegals in this country? No, there's 30 million illegals in this country. And do you think that under COVID, they are going into a courtroom and saying, here I am, I'm meeting my court appointment? No, they are not. We don't know who these people are. We don't know where they are. We don't know if they're jihadists and terrorists or cartel members. We have no clue who they are. They have fake IDs. And so President Trump is absolutely 100% correct when he said they let in criminals into the USA, not vetted, tie the hands of our Department of Justice. We have Pelosi and the squad saying defund the police, dismantle the American system, and dismantle the Department of Justice, attacking AG Barr and President Trump for attempting to secure our borders from these traffickers who, yes, some of the parents may be separated, but it's not President Trump's fault. Why are they illegally coming into the USA when they've never been vetted to prove that they are not foreign enemies or to prove they're fleeing from tyranny and poverty? We have no clue who they are. So the only way to restore our nation is to vote for President Trump, the GOP, and not saying they're all above board, but we have a better chance at that than we do with what we've seen with the Democrats under the Clintons and under the Obamas. And guess what? There is only one way to do it. It's to restore the borders, restore authority to the Department of Justice, and to restore the rule of law.
And I want to report this one thing, by the way. Today is the World Series now, okay? And guess what Nancy Pelosi said? And this is also, I'm quoting Chuck Schumer. I'm also quoting who was the other one? Yeah, Elena Gestapo-Cortez, Bernie Sanders, and Shifty Shift. And this is also who's the other guy here? Not Christopher Dodd. It's the other one. It's Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer. They all said that they need to take a knee before the national anthem today. They're requesting this. They are
anti-Americans. I mean, if people don't understand that the Democratic Party says they're a socialist party now, they are not the American Party of the past. They are now a socialist party who praised China, a communist nation who opened the borders to communist China, who set up Walmart and Costco as the major stores that they want you to buy from because the products are mostly from China. Everything made in China. They sold us out. The Democrats sold us out. They sold us out. And the major corporations sold us out who use slave labor. And this is because they make bigger profits. And AI sold us out totally in bed with communist China. So we are fighting for our right. We're fighting for our freedom out of our homes to run our own businesses. We're fighting for the necessities of life right now. People are actually, because of the Democrats, not because of President Trump. He's only been in office 3 years fighting impeachments and doing the best he possibly can to restore our nation, while the rest of these Democrats who have been lifetime careers destroyed our nation. And now they're destroying our businesses. They're destroying our way of life. They are destroying our freedom, liberties, and rights and sovereignty. They destroyed that. And now we're living among we don't know who, 30 million people who don't belong in this country, and forcing us to pay for their necessities of life. Well, we're struggling to pay for our own necessities of life because they have locked down a free nation of free people who pay their wages while they made themselves rich off of China, Russia, Iran, and China.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to cover all this up by blaming Trump. Give me a break. They've been in office and refused term limits for 25 to 50 years.
Yeah.
And they have done what for America? They can't even answer that question.
They haven't. I can tell you this. They've done squat. That's what they've done. They've done squat. There you go.
They can't answer the question.
You know, they can't. No, they can't answer the question because they have no answers to the question. That's a problem. And you can thank the liberal mob media for supporting the Democrats right now. They're pushing for them, and that's exactly what they're doing. And that's a violation of crimes against humanity. Also, a violation of freedom.
Treason. Are you kidding me? It's treason. It's traitors. It's misdemeanors and high crimes. And they're calling all this stuff conflicts of interest and then softening it and saying, well, it's not really a conflict for these people, but it is a conflict and a crime for these people. So we'll throw them in jail, and maybe the American people will forget about these VIP people who have names and titles and money. No. That isn't the way America is supposed to operate under the rule of law.
Right, but I'm telling you,
or people who are loyal and love their homeland and their country. No, people, rise up peacefully, rise up, speak out, and demand that they free the American people out of the custody of Bill Gates and George Soros in China.
Now, please let me say this, okay? I was making this great point here that the liberal media mob is a violation of the First Amendment, the Third Amendment, and the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. That's freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of press, and also freedom of choice. That's right.
I want the Senate, Mark, to tell us, I want the senators to tell us under what authority does the FCC and who's ever in charge of communications allowing the internet corporations to control our freedom of speech and determine the elections.
Also freedom of religion, too.
By only publishing biased, political, liberal posts.
Not I do, but also freedom of religion. I post up a video. I have a couple of hymns that I have, and one of them has to be a friend of Jesus. You know, what a friend we have in Jesus. That's the name of the song. It's a great hymn, and guess what? Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Instagram, all blocked it down this past week, yesterday. They blocked it down. First time for me to see that. And I had that on video to prove my point. I had never seen that before. That's freedom of religion. That's freedom of broadcasting. Freedom of choice. Freedom of expression. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know. See, this is a problem. And there's no news networks.
No, because it's a monopoly, and they need to break up the monopoly. And why they haven't broken up the monopoly is beyond my comprehension.
Right.
And they need to break up this monopoly and give the public airwaves that we pay taxes for back to the American people, not to private corporations, so they can become extremely wealthy and do whatever they want and control the American people. That's not the way the Constitution reads.
That's right. That's right.
But I want to tell you one more thing I don't think people know, if you have